Hey everybody. So today we're going to be diving into trying to make some connections to both implementation and leadership in building these learning designs, learning spaces, learning environments. As you saw in the first learning in places activity, there's a complexity in creating and building these designs, something that takes years and years of implementation. And this is a very short exploration that we've had time to dive into. And so our idea is to now kind of think about how do we make these connections to leadership implementation and kind of try to build in some of that extra knowledge. And so for this particular activity and all of the leadership activities, we've actually had a faculty member in leadership that's been able to support and try to make those connections. And so we have a couple of articles here diving into design thinking in accelerated leadership, preparing to lead in a project-based world, things along those lines. And so what I want us to do is I want us to have our next project in mind as we start thinking about ideas and implementation, because in our first activity, we're going to dive in and look at a review or a critique of a learning space that we're interested in. So in the Tuesday example, you had a chance to be able to look at each particular section of a research article and annotate that in hypothesis. This time we're going to look at a different way to think about a critique and an exploration. And so what you're going to do is you're going to choose one of the articles that you've read, and I want you to think about the thoughts, feelings, questions, and epiphanies that come up from that. So kind of what are the things that you were thinking as you were reading? What are the questions that you had, epiphanies, as you start to think about your next steps for your particular project that's due at the end of week 3. And then in part 2, I'm going to ask you to go through and think about those connections for a learning design of your interest. And so hopefully, you'll have a sense of what you would like to explore, because you're going to get a chance to brainstorm and share that out at the end of the week on Sunday. And as always, just check in with me if you have any questions, thoughts, hopes, wishes, dreams, concerns. And I look forward to seeing what you all come up with. Thanks so much.